Sterlington C2. Student section all has their back to the field. Everyone up has their back.
Leading off, second base, number 5, Travis Adams. On the mound, number 1, Sterling Sims. At third, number 18, Devin Dow. Right fielder, number 2, Easton Brascato. At short, number 15, Miller Sheets. At first, number 22, Trey Bucks. Dylan Dow.
They don't have any little guys on this team.
Number 19, Connor Justice. Number 3, Peyton Robinson. In left field, Corbin Peacock. Players on the Panther team.
You're watching KWBJ Live YouTube channel from Sulphur, Louisiana, McMurray Park, and the LHSAA Oshner State Baseball Championships. Tonight, this morning, it is Division III non-select semifinal action between the defending state champion and 14 seed Berwick Panthers and the number 2 seed Sterlington Panthers. Good morning, everybody. Chris Hunter here, along with Aaron Ortego. Glad to be back here, bringing the action to you from Sulphur. Always a great opportunity, great time to be here. And Aaron, looking at a couple of schools here that have a lot of playoff history between them over the last few years.
Absolutely, Brew. Listen to me. All right, Chris, I'm going to get it right. I got to kind of started talking with the microphone not by me. And
it's too early.
Never got straight. But anyway, let's hopefully we get it done. Yeah, these two teams come in with a long history of battling in the playoffs, you know, in key games. And teams with the team that's the biggest surprise out here today, without doubt, is the Berwick Panthers. As I don't think I've talked to a single person that at the beginning of the season expected them to even make the playoffs, let alone make the tournament here in Sulphur. But they've come on strong. I think what we're seeing is the results of a team that had a lot of talent, but very little experience.
And
with only one
started
player.
to gel.
Right. And then as they played throughout the season, that talent came to the surface, and here they are.
Let's pause now for the national anthem. I think we're going to be delayed a moment as they're going to sync up the national anthem with both fields. The other Division III semifinal will be taking place on the field directly opposite us. That's number 1 seed South Beauregard and number 5 seed Doyle, last year's opponent for Berwick in the state championship game. We're on the same field as we were last year for the semifinals when Berwick took on Kinder, and it's a very similar morning. It is very cloudy. It is very windy. There was some rain that last time, and I think that game was even delayed a little bit. No rain in the forecast this time, but we got that same strong breeze in our face, and it's going to have an effect on anything hitting the air today.
That's true. The prediction was to have a 20-mile-an-hour wind, and I think it's every bit of that 20 miles an hour coming out of the south, kind of blowing from right field across into and out of left field. So, and then it seems to be a bit of a swirl where we're at, but the flag out in center field continues to fly straight towards toward left field.
Berwick coming in with a 9-18 record. That's a regular season record, but they have played 9 postseason games. That's extraordinary.
That's the maximum.
Yep.
Nobody, I don't know how many games everybody played, but I can guarantee you no one's played more.
No, that's the most you could have played at this point.
They had to play a first round bye, and the first 3 rounds were 2 out of 3, and every round they played 3 games. And they won 2 out of every 3.
Yep, so they got the 6 wins they needed to get here to Sulphur. And it is ironic, if they win today, come back Friday, win the state championship, you'd have a state championship team with an overall losing record.
Right, that's true. And the 14th seed, which nobody out of all teams, all classes, non-select and select, no one that's playing ball today, this weekend, is lower seeded than that 14.
That's right. There are 40 teams here in Sulphur this week. Lowest seed is the Berwick Panthers. But, it seems to me, and it might have happened right around the time late in the year when they played Edie White, and they won that game that gave them the district championship. Seems to me like at some point this team kind of remembered, hey, we're the defending state champions. Right. We're the Berwick Panthers. We've been to Sulphur 2 years in a row. We've got to start living up to that reputation those guys in front of us have built up. And they played tough competition. They beat the 3 seed on the road. They beat the 6 seed on the road. And they've started to play up to the reputation that their predecessors built.
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. They whatever happens today, this team needs to hold their head up very high. And I think the parents and the fans, they realize it. And I'm hoping that the team and the coaching staff realize it as well, because the performance these guys have put together for this season has been outstanding.
Yeah, fantastic accomplishment by a team with a first-year head coach, Cody Gorgeron. Only 3 seniors on the team, Zachary Kinchin, Lane Rogers, and Rhett Ratcliffe. So a lot of young talent coming back, and I think if you were to look at the conventional wisdom, you would say, hey, this team's been playing for next year. Well, the seniors certainly don't want to hear that. They're playing for today, and you're here. Let's face it. If you're here, you've got a shot. So long as you're still playing, you've got a shot at the state championship. So why not go out and grab it?
Well, Chris, I've always felt that in baseball, more than any other sport, the underdog has a better chance of winning in baseball than football or basketball or most any other sport. Baseball, especially if you've got a pitcher that can control it. We saw that last night with the pitching performance in last night's game with Central Catholic. They couldn't hit him. They ended up with 4 hits spread out over 4 different innings and never could put anything together and lost that ball game 3-0. So baseball is pitching. And if you got a good pitcher, you got a chance.
We mentioned the history between these 2 teams, playoff history. This will be the 5th time in 7 years that Berwick and Sterlington have faced each other in the playoffs. Last year it was Berwick winning in 2 games in the quarterfinals at Sterlington. In 2022, it was Berwick winning here in Sulphur, 9-8 in the semifinals. They did not play each other in 21. Sterlington won the state championship that year. There were no playoffs in 20 due to COVID. In 19, it was Sterlington beating Berwick here in Sulphur 1-0 in 8 innings. And then in 2018, Berwick again winning here in the semifinals, winning 8-6. So I asked Coach Mark Sims before the game, is your team kind of, do they have 2023 on the mind? He said, hey, they've got 2023, 2022, and 2018 on the mind as well. All right, here we go for the national anthem.
And please remain standing as you honor America with the playing of the national anthem.
Okay, let's play ball.
All right, if you joined us last night for the Central Catholic Opelousas game, you remember we told you then LHSAA rules at the semifinals and finals prohibit us from showing video. We only can give you an audio description of the game. We got the camera up right now as we give you a look around the field, kind of let you get a feel for what the atmosphere is like. Good Panther crowd, huge student section over here, and that was great during the Sterlington introductions. The students all turned their back on the field. But that's as much as we can do, and as we get the game going right now, we are going to cover the screen, let our sponsors take over. Thank you so much to all the sponsors we have for both last night's game and tonight's game here as we bring you semifinal baseball from Sulphur. Aaron, why don't you go through the batting order for Berwick?
Okay, this is Berwick's batting order and starting positions. They're going to lead off with Eli Lodrig, and he's playing left field today. The DH is Gavin Darby, followed by center fielder Henry Ferguson. Your cleanup hitter and pitcher is Carter Whipple. At first base is Jason Matthews. Right fielder is Zach Kitchen. Third baseman is Cole Morris. Shortstop Evan Crapel. Second baseman is Rhett Ratcliffe. And behind the plate, Lane Rogers. Out in the outfield for Sterlington, Connor Justice behind the plate, Sterling Sims on the mound. First base is Trey Birch. Second baseman is Travis Adams. Miller Sheets at shortstop. Devin Downs at third base. The outfield, left field is Corbin Peacock. Center fielder Dylan Downs. And right fielder Easton Bruscato.
Three pairs of brothers on this Sims team. Two of them starting, Devin and Dylan Downs. There's also a pair of Green brothers and a pair of Belanges. We know how to pronounce that name because they're transplants from Homa. So yeah, that's the correct pronunciation. The pitcher is Sterling Sims, son of head coach Mark Sims. First pitch is on the way. We are underway. From Berwick, first pitch is outside for ball one. Leadoff batter Eli Lodrig, 3-11 hitter for the Panthers. Second pitch, a little bit off the plate, ball two. We do not have any statistics for Sterlington. So we'll kind of figure them out as we go. That one's a real low, ball three.
You know, pitching in this wind can really, especially if the wind's behind your back, I find it does more harm than good. Your curveballs and breaking balls, they just don't break like they would if they were being thrown into the wind or with no wind.
Fastball down the heart for strike one. Lodrig taking all the way with a 3-0 count. Now with 3-1, Sims winds and delivers. Fouled off into the screen, and the count is full. Sims gets the sign. Brings it to the plate, up high, ball four. Leadoff walk for the Panthers.
All right. Well, you know what they say about those leadoff walks, especially those that start the game. Lodrig worked it full and then took ball four. Use good eye and good judgment.
There's a stat somewhere, I'm not sure what it is, but somebody did the stat and said leadoff walks score, I believe it's more than 75% of the time. And the next pitch coming to Gavin Darby is up high for ball one. Sims had a little trouble
This was
early.
way out of the strike zone too. It was up high.
This one fouled straight back, evens up the count at 1-1. Stands really starting to fill in nicely now as more and more Panther fans arrive. Not too many Sterlington fans, a lot of adults, but not too many students here. Big student section for Berwick, as we said. It's a long drive down here from Sterlington, which is a little bit north of Monroe. 1-1 the count. Sims looks in, fires. That's in for strike two. Sims comes to the plate again, and that's in, called strike three on the outside corner.
So Darby goes down looking. He's going to have that big outside corner again this game. Last week we saw a lot of that up in Kentwood. He's going to have that again today. So big outside corner, Darby takes it. It's called strike three.
So with one out, Henry Ferguson steps in. Looks at a strike. Rodrigue over at first base.
Ferguson's batting in the 3-hole. He also plays center field. He's been starting out there. Other than when he pitches, he's been the center fielder, I think, most, if not all, of the season. Runner's going.
For a ball. Rodrigue's going. Throw is high. He's in safe. Throw goes into center field, and Rodrigue will not go any further. The pitch was a strike. So now with an 0-2 count, but a runner in scoring position now for Ferguson. He's got 19 RBI on the season. Sims gets the sign, fires, and it's outside, ball one.
Of course, this is the first game out of 2 to win the state championship, but you got to believe Sims is, if he's not their ace, he's their number 2 starter. So that first leadoff walk maybe had a little bit to do with nerves.
Swing and a miss, strike three, 2 strikeouts for Sims. And the Panthers have 2 down.
2 outs, that'll bring the pitcher, Carter Whipple, to the plate with a chance to help his own cause here. A solid single could score a run. Rodrigue with good wheels.
Whipple hit 267 on the year, but he's got 6 doubles, a triple, and a home run. So he's a guy who can get you an extra base hit, which is probably what you need here. Swing and a miss, strike one.
There's a fastball up in the strike zone. Looked good, went after it, but couldn't catch up.
Berwick with an opportunity to get an early lead here. Sims glances back at Rodrigues. It's back to the plate, back at Rodrigue. Back to the plate, back at Rodrigue. He's back and forth. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball one.
Again, that 0-2 count, I mean 0-1 count, you don't want to give him nothing too good, but it was too far off the plate. He took it. Ball one, strike one.
That was close enough to make him think about it a little bit. Whipple stares down Sims, who comes to the plate and hits the outside corner for strike two.
That was a huge outside corner. And like we've said throughout the season, don't matter which strike zone is, just do it all the time.
Yeah, and our view is a little bit off to the side, so things that look like they're on the outside corner might have been down the middle. Here's the 1-2, and that's on, called strike three. They throw down the third, not necessary. Sims gets 3 strikeouts. And Sterlington's out of the inning.
Yeah, we're not directly behind home plate, but that pitch was outside. Okay, I'm a little bit closer than you are, and that was almost in the left-handed batter's box. You know? Very close to it, if not in it.
Mayor Duval Arthur, the town council and administration for the town of Berwick wish the Panthers the best of luck in the quarterfinals. GJCurbside.com, your complete online grocery store, including local and regional products. Check our website for delivery options. From our curb to yours, GJ Curbside. Innomore Offshore and Fabrication, based in Morgan City for 50 years, with worldwide support of the oil and gas industry. At Innomore, we do more. And Lafayette Electric, 1207 Greenwood Street in Morgan City, proud supporter of high school baseball in the Tri-City area.
Okay, Sterling Sims gave up that leadoff walk, Chris, but after that he struck out the next 3 hitters. So might have been just a little bit of big game, early game jitters, but he settled in and struck out the side after giving up the walk.
You want to say he settled in and he found the strike zone. I think what's important is he found this umpire's strike zone.
Right,
and that's because they will be different. Not every umpire is going to call things the exact same way. And the key is figuring out what this umpire likes for a strike. And Sims found it very quickly.
The batting order, the entire batting order for Sterlington Panthers is they start off with second baseman Travis Adams, followed by the starting pitcher Sterling Sims, third baseman Devin Downs. Your cleanup hitter is right fielder Easton Bruscato, then the shortstop Miller Sheets, first baseman Trey Birch, center fielder Dylan Downs, your catcher is Connor Justice, and your 9-hole hitter and DH is Peyton Robinson. At the plate now, second baseman Travis Adams.
Carter Whipple got the start in game 1 last week against Jules Sumner, and the victory. First pitch. It's outside for ball 1. Now I'm going to try to watch the catcher more than I watch where the ball is and see how the catcher reacts to the ball. This pitch driven to left field.
That's going to get down.
Out of the reach of Eli Lodry, going to get all the way to the fence. He slips on the warning track as the runner comes around second. Adams will hold up with a stand-up double, but right away, Sterlington in business. Well hit line drive right there by Travis Adams.
Not only was it right down the third base line, but the wind kind of blows it away from the left fielder, Lodrig, out there. He slipped out there, but that didn't hurt because that had been a stand-up double any way you slice it.
I don't think he was going any further. Right. Yeah, the wind is blowing steadily from right to left field. So anything hit at the left fielder is going to tail away from him towards the baseline. First pitch in for called strike 1 to Sterling Sims.
There's that outside corner. So he's calling it both ways. He's been consistent with it, and that's all any coach or player will ever ask for. Just be consistent.
Whipple gets the sign, checks Adams at second. Comes to the plate, shows bunt, pulls it back, ball 1 up high. Evan Krappel at shortstop, shading over towards second base, not really holding Adams, but getting just close enough if they want to try a quick time pickoff move, he can get over there. Whipple looks back, now comes to the plate, lays the bunt down, and it trails into third base line, foul territory for strike 2.
Sims is the pitcher and the 2-hole hitter, so he bats with nobody out and a runner on second base.
As we said, we do not have any statistics, individual stats for the Sterlington hitters or pitchers. Talked with one of the assistants before the game. He was pretty cagey about what kind of team he is. He said they're a high school baseball team. Sometimes they hit, sometimes they don't. That, by the way, was Ben Sheets, the former Major League pitcher, who is now an assistant coach for Sterlington, and that is his son Miller at shortstop for Sterlington. All right, 1-2 pitch here. Whipple delivers, swing and a miss, strike 3. Good job fielding the low pitch by Rogers, avoiding having to throw down to first base, but it's 1 away.
Hey, Chris, he came up immediately showing the ball to the umpire that he did catch it before it hit the ground. And even if he catches it, if it hits the ground first, you still got to throw him out. Even if though he short hops it and feels it cleanly, you still have to throw him out.
All right, with one away now. Whipple's pitch, driven to left field. Lodry going back, all the way, hits the warning track and bounces over for a ground rule double. That will score a run. Devin Downs, the Sterlington third baseman, with a monster drive to left field that one hops the fence, and Sterlington's on the board.
And you can see Lodry, the path he took. He starts on one line, and then he starts drifting. The ball started drifting. That wind is pushing it in that direction. Started pushing him away. He had to spin around, and ball managed to get over his head. I mean, they were, like you said, extremely well-hit baseball. He nailed. That's two well-hit balls to left field.
The left field fence all the way into left center here on field 40 of McMurray Park is a good 12 feet high. It would be a monster shot to get this out on the fly. He one-hopped it there. So, with a one-run lead now, the batter is Easton Brascato, the right fielder. He looks at called strike one. Panthers right away playing from behind. Bottom of the first inning. Just underway from Sulphur. This pitch up high in the zone, but enough. Strike two.
Unless you have two strikes, and maybe even with two strikes, you're not going to swing at that pitch.
Well,
up and away.
You talk about that high fastball and how hard it is to lay off. He laid off, but this time it wasn't too high.
Yep.
So 0-2 now. Whipple to the plate. Drives right back up the middle. This gets past second base into center field. Runner will hold at third.
Which was a good call. Good job out there in the outfield in center field. That was Henry Ferguson with a strong throw to home, and that's something that third base coach is not going to forget. He saw that throw too. Even though the runner wasn't going, you make an impressive throw like that, and that third base coach is going to think long and hard before he sends somebody in on an arm like that.
And you kind of want to make that throw, even if you think the guy is not going to try to score, just to show him, hey, later on, if you're thinking about scoring, here's what you're going to have to deal with.
It does make a difference.
As Coach Cody Ortego goes out to the mound to talk to his team, brings the whole infield together, get some strategy down. You do have one away. Second base is open, so you got a potential double play if you can get a ground ball up the middle. And you're not hurt really bad right now. The score is still just 1-0. If you can hold it to that, you come back in the second and try to get things back together.
That'll bring to the plate shortstop Miller Sheets. Sheets is the 5-hole hitter. He'll bat with one out and runners on the corners.
Left-handed hitter. Jacob Matthews holding the runner at first base. Sheets shows bunt. Tries to get it down, but pops it back into the screen. Strike one.
That's the least desirable result of a bunt.
No, you do not want to get it up in the air.
That's the. Of course, this was fouled straight back into the net, so no harm. But you want that bunt to get on the ground, not up in the air.
Devin Downs at third base. Easton Brascato at first for Sterlington. Sheets steps in. He is a big-looking prospect. Throws the bat back, takes strike two. You mentioned it before the game. All these guys for Sterlington, they look like ball players.
Oh, and big, tall. I don't know. Look like all the starters were at least 6 feet tall. It's hard to tell. We were up in the stands on the top row of the stands, but they're all big kids.
Whipple delivers the 0-2. Fouled off and back. We'll stay at 0-2. Yeah, I was talking to his father, Ben Sheets, before the game, as we mentioned. Former Milwaukee Brewer pitcher, Was an All-American up at UL Monroe, and he's a big dude.
Yeah.
And his son takes after him. That is a big kid standing down there at the plate. Here's 0-2. Driven right back up the middle, just over the reach of Krappel. That'll score a run. Gets by Ferguson. Runner will head for third. And everybody will advance a base on the fielding error by Ferguson. Run scores. 2-0 Sterlington. Runners at second and third. Sterlington coming out here making a statement with the bats in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, they've got the one strikeout and everybody else singled. They got, hit, rather, 2 hits and 2 doubles. So far, they've turned that into 2 runs. With 2 more runs in scoring position, 1 out for first baseman Trey Birch.
First pitch fouled back into the screen, strike 1. Said Trey on the lineup card. On the roster, his name is Tamarian Birch.
I'm assuming Trey's the nickname.
Got to be short.
Okay, we're going to go with Trey because that was
We'll try to remember to use that because I got Tamarian written down in front of me.
Yeah.
Check swing. Ball 1. Runners on second and third, 1 away. And Sterlington with a crooked number on the board here in the first inning, 2-0. Whipple from the stretch comes set to the plate. That missed a little low. Emphasis on a little.
A little, very little.
It didn't look like it missed by much. Two-1 is the count now. Whipple looks over at third. Comes to the plate. Curveball in for called strike 2.
Berwick could sure use a strikeout right here with these 2 runners on second and third.
Yep.
I'd like to get that second out right here at the plate.
Yeah, the infield is playing up. Cole Morris at third all the way up on the grass, and everybody else just off the grass all the way around. So Berwick's going to try to prevent this third run from coming in. Here's the 2-1. Outside, hops in the dirt, blocked by Rogers. Ball 3.
And that runner was ready. He had a head start coming down the line, but when it stayed right in front of Rogers, he turned around and went back to third base. Good job by Lane behind the plate. Got his body in front of it, used that chest protector for what it's for, blocked it off his chest, kept it right in front of him.
Payoff pitch. Up high, and the bases are loaded. Definitely not the start we wanted to see the Panthers have. They had a rough start against Jules Sumner last week. I believe that, if I remember right, was it a 5-run first inning or second inning in one of the games?
Yeah, I think it was a second inning if I'm not mistaken. But I'm old and you're counting on my memory now. So.
Seemed like Berwick had one big offensive inning in every game last week.
That brings to the plate center fielder Dylan Downs. He'll bat with the bases loaded and 1 out.
First pitch driven up the middle. Ferguson gets under it, makes the catch, brings a throw.
The runner off. They cut him off.
That'll score the run. Runner advances to third. Runner at first stays put. But it's 3-1 Sterlington.
That'll score the run. The runner on second was able to move to third, but the runner on first had to stay put. The ball wasn't hit that deep.
No, it was a short line drop. Probably the wind knocked it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Thorgensen didn't really get a lot on the throw in. First pitch to Connor Justice, the catcher, is a called strike 1. Runners at first and third. 2 away. Whipple's pitch up high, ball 1. Whipple takes his time getting back in. Runner takes a short lead off first. Short lead off third. Curveball in, called strike 2. Good looking pitch right there.
Big pitch coming right here. You'd like to get him on something right now where you can throw him your pitch and not his pitch. This was close. Awful close to take with 2 strikes.
Now a little bit low. Ball 2.
Got 2 strikes, 2 outs, and the bases are juiced.
So the 2-2 pitch on the way. Foul back into the screen.
Yeah, this is off the handle. At the plate is the catcher, Connor Justice. He bats in the 8 hole, so he's the 8th hitter here to start the ball game for Sterlington.
Sheets on third, Birch on first for Sterlington. Whipple into the stretch. Comes set. 2-2 pitch. That's in the dirt. Birch will take second on a uncontested.
Might have had a play out there at second. Birch is a big kid running down there.
Yeah, it wasn't super fast, but no throw. And now we've got a full count again. And your only force play is at first base. Here's a payoff. Driven into right center. Thorgerson getting over there and makes the catch. We are out of the inning, but Sterlington puts a big mark on the board. 3 runs. I'll let you do the rundown. There were several hits.
That's a good job out there in center field by Thorgerson. He had a good jump on the ball. He was running as soon as contact was made, got there easily and waited for the ball to come down, made the catch.
Our thanks to Core Physical Therapy and Sports Performance, here to restore the quality of life you deserve on Brasher Avenue in Morgan City. AJ Dolman Automotive Family at the foot of the Highway 90 Bridge in Berwick. Lapco Manufacturing, feel safe, work smart, look good with Lapco FR. www.lapco.com. Stansberry and Associates, marine surveyors and consultants, offering a full range of services for recreational, commercial, and fishing vessels. Good luck, Panthers. And good luck to the Panthers from Leo and everyone at Tri-City Transmission, 230 Bowman Street in Berwick, supporting all of our Tri-City high schools.
All right, for the Berwick Panthers, they will start off with the 5-hole hitter, first baseman Jason Matthews. They'll be followed by Zach Kitchen, the right fielder, and then third baseman Cole Morris. And the wind does not let up at all.
It is, if anything, it's getting harder.
I know it's tough on the players, but you know, we got a lot of papers up here on this table too. And we're outside in this wind, so you cannot put a piece of paper down, that's for sure, without a weight on top of it.
I got a lot of paper and not enough paper weight.
Yeah.
All right. Number 18, Jason Matthews will step up to the plate, 202 hitter for the Panthers this season.
Matthews had an outstanding series out in Kentwood during summer. He made some good defensive plays, made a play from his back once to get an out, and had a few key hits as well.
Matthews looks at 2 consecutive strikes. Both look very hittable pitches. Matthews so far not moving the bat. So here's the 0-2. Sims winds and delivers. On the corner, strike 3. Matthews down in 3 pitches without moving the bat. And he is not happy at all about that. A little demonstrative leaving the batter's box there.
Yeah, well, that was one of them big outside corners, but he's been calling that since the game started.
Yeah, he has, and more importantly, I got to look at the pitches he took for strikes 1 and 2.
Right, those, yeah.
You can't complain about saying strike 3 was bad if you missed 1 and 2. All right, first pitch fouled back and out of play for strike 1.
That is at the plate is the right fielder, Zach Kitchen.
And finally, Sims misses up high, 1-1. Sims got a lot of zip on his fastball. Here's a windup and the 1-1. That's up high, ball 2. Berwick needs base runners here. Certainly no reason to panic, only the second inning. But you don't want to let that 3-run lead sit out there and linger. There's another miss for ball 3.
Okay, this is a hitter's count, the 3-1 count. Kitchen can be selective. He goes after it.
Fouls it back out of play.
That'll run it full, which now puts the advantage to the pitcher, I believe.
So with a full count, Sims winds and fires. Ground ball, fielded by Downs at third, drifting to his left, makes the throw in time for out number 2.
That's Devin Downs at third base for Sterlington, doing his job, got in front of it, fielded it cleanly, and made a strong throw to first.
So that will bring to the plate Cole Morris, perhaps the most veteran player on this team, even though he's just a junior. First pitch up the middle. Second baseman, long run, long throw, does not make it in time. First hit of the game for the Panthers. Travis Adams, second baseman, had to go a long way to his right, was all the way behind the bag when he finally got to that ball.
Chris, I want you to notice where Sterlington's center fielder is playing. He's short. With all this wind and the wind blowing towards third, not only is he short, but he's well on the right field side of second base.
This ball popped up to right field. Brascato will make an easy play on it, and the Panthers are down in the second. First hit of the game recorded for Berwick, but no damage done as far as Sterlington is concerned. And we'll go to the bottom of the second with Sterlington in the lead 3-0. Ochsner Health of St. Mary, quality health care close to home. Thanks to Ochsner's, Taco Bell in Morgan City and Bayou Vista, open late night, delivery through DoorDash. And Cajun Coast Visitors and Convention Bureau, come eat your way through the shrimply delicious food trail on the Cajun Coast. Get your passport to nearly 30 great restaurants in our area. Eat shrimp and win a t-shirt. Visit CajunCoast.com/shrimp-trail for details. Sterlington coming into this game with a 22-9 record in the regular season. Their path to Sulphur was a victory at home over number 15 seed Pine in 2 games. And then they beat number 7 Westlake at home also in 2 games. They only have 1 loss to a team that did not make the playoffs this season.
That's not an easy trick.
Well, they play a tough schedule. An interesting scheduling, I noticed, and I talked about that with Coach Sheets. Growing up in North Louisiana, this is becoming more common. They play a lot of 3-game and 2-game series up there to kind of simulate what they're going to be facing in the playoffs.
That's true. Of course, Berwick, I said, I made that comment to Lord Henry in between the 2 games, or actually, in between the 2 games. And I made that comment to him. I said, you know, at least they were getting ready to start the 3rd game. I said, at least y'all have plenty of experience. And he looked at me and he goes, yeah, but it didn't sound like he was real happy with that fact. He'd like to have a few more 2-game series where he walked away with the victory. But
well, that's always easier.
Absolutely.
Whipples misses high on his first 2 pitches to Peyton Robinson. So with a 2-0 count, Whipples winds and fires. That's in for called strike 1. We're in the bottom of the second. 3-0, Sterlington. Whipples. Whipple. That pitch popped up and out of play. Whipple finished the regular season with a 3.07 ERA. That pitch misses down low. And we've got another full count. Sterlington fans with the ball 4 chant as the pitch. Sure enough, ball 4.
Chris, not only do you not want to walk the leadoff hitter, but you don't walk, especially don't want to walk the leadoff hitter when he's the 9-hole.
Oh, man.
Because now they move to the top of the batting order for Travis Adams, who led the game off with a double and scored a run.
Yeah, we've talked about that. That's the cardinal sin of pitching, is to walk the 9-hole. And now you get back to the top of the order and you think, okay, it's everybody's, now they got their second look, now they're ready. Now Sterlington walked on the field ready. They came after Whipple hard in the first inning. Several extremely well hit balls, including a ground rule double bounced over the left field wall.
A ground rule double that bounced over, a starting duck led off with a double that reached the fence.
Adams takes first pitch, strike 1. As you said, Adams with a double to lead off the bottom of the first inning. 8 runners came to the plate in the first for Sterlington. Here's the 0-1. That's fouled straight into the dirt for 0-2. And Whipple hasn't been ahead of many hitters so far today, but now he's up 0-2. Robinson with a short lead off first. Whipple goes over there. Not a serious pickoff attempt there, just driving him back to the base.
I don't know why, but those pickoff moves always make me nervous, because I've seen too many of them end up in the bleachers.
Yep. 0-2 pitch. Popped up. Left field, Rodrigue ranging over, coming into foul territory and making the catch. Long run for Rodrigue, but he gets to it and it's one away.
It was a long run, but it was also hit extremely high. He got underneath that one and hit it way up in the air. It was caught in foul territory for the first out.
Yeah, anything that hit that high today is going to be an adventure.
Yeah.
So that'll bring Sterling Sims to the plate.
Sims struck out swinging in the first inning.
Whipple from the stretch goes over to first. Robinson's back in time. We got a 3-umpire crew here, as we've had throughout the playoffs. We should be 4 umpires on Friday for the championship games.
At the plate is Peyton Townsend. And
Sterling Sims.
On first base is Peyton Townsend. He was the DH hitting for us left fielder Corbin Peacock. At the plate is the pitcher, Sterling Sims.
Here's a 1-0 pitch. Runner fakes going. Pitches in for called strike 1. Robinson looks like he might be the only guy on this Sterlington team who isn't 6 foot tall and weighs about 190 pounds.
Right.
Little guy over there takes his lead off first. Whipple. 1-1 play, swing and a miss. Strike 2. Crowd has really filled in nicely. This early start, 11 a.m. start. If you didn't spend the night, you had to get up early to get here in time for this one. Here's a 1-2 offering from Whipple. Popped up, and Rogers looks at it, hitting the overhang right over our heads.
You probably heard it. Almost sounds like a gun going off. A big gun.
All right, so we will do 1 and 2 once more. Whipple rocks and fires. That one's in the dirt. Blocked nicely by Rogers, but ball 2. Robinson can't go anywhere as Rogers keeps it in front of him. Lane Rogers is an excellent defensive catcher. 2-2 pitch. Well, no. Go over to first again. Whipple keeping Robinson honest over there on first base. Now from the stretch. 2-2 pitch. Drilling straight back up the middle for a base hit.
Yeah, a little bit on the handles, towards the handle, and kind of just muscled it straight right over second base. Didn't hit it real hard, but he hit it in the right spot. So a single.
We don't have as good a scoreboard as we did on the other field. This is more of your basic high school baseball scoreboard. So we don't have things like hits.
Right, hits and errors.
That's about 5 or 6 hits already for Sterlington.
Actually, it's 5. They got 4 in the first inning. They got 2 doubles and 2 singles in the first inning. And the 2 runners here, first one is a walk, and then the single you just saw. So that's their 5th hit.
And Devin Downs.
We're in the second inning with 1 away. So.
Devin Downs had the ground rule double in the first inning. So he steps in with runners on first and second and 1 away. Whipple taking his time, comes out of the stretch. Here's the pitch in the dirt, ball 1.
Whipple has just thrown his 44th pitch, and we're 1 out in the second inning.
Hard drive off 2 gloves and into center field. Runner coming all the way in from second base to score. Throw over to third is not in time. That's going to be a single for Downs. A run scores.
Yep, so Downs is 2 for 2.
Jackson King, the courtesy runner, came all the way from first base to score and had from first to third. Big collision with Cole Morris at third base. Morris is shaken up.
Yeah, there was a collision there at third base. He didn't slide. And as he's fielding the ball, and even your runner, he's bent over himself.
Trainer coming out and checking on Morris. The ball was hit straight back up the middle. It glanced off Whipple's glove and then glanced off Ratcliffe's glove at second base. Hit that hard that 2 guys had a chance to put a glove on it and could not field it. That ball was, again, smoked by Downs.
I want to be clear, there weren't errors. Okay?
No.
First off, the pitcher had little to no time to make a move on it. And at second base, Ratcliffe was diving and backhanding, trying to backhand it as he's diving in the ball because he just couldn't get to it. So
right.
It's a solid single.
It was self-defense,
right.
And it just deflected it into a place where Ratcliffe really had no shot at it, even though he managed to get a glove. Even with 2 gloves deflecting the ball, it still got into center field.
Well, I tell you, when it came off the bat, it wasn't no blooper.
Oh, no, that was a
He hit it hard. Like I said, he has the ground rule double his first at bat, and he singles here. Picks up a RBI as Peyton Robinson scores from second base.
And so Sterlington on the board here again in the second, 4-0, and still just 1 away. First pitch to Easton Briscato is a check swing, ball 1. King is the runner at third. Downs the runner at first. Whipple looks over at King, fakes to third, fakes to first. So everybody steps back in, gets ready to do the same thing again. Whipple set. Now this time he will throw the first. Downs back in time. This is already seems to have been a long game. 1-0 pitch. In for called strike one. We've already played 45 minutes and we're not finished with 2 innings. Whipple set for the 1-1. Batter squares, gets the bunt down. Whipples comes up. He'll go back to first or home and makes the throw out in time at home. Rogers with the tag. They'll give up the run at first, but prevent the run. That, if I remember Tim Hemel's explanations last week, will go down as a safety squeeze rather than a suicide squeeze because the runner waited.
Yeah, well, you wait to make contact. Yeah. Suicide squeeze, pitch, as soon as the pitcher starts going home, you take off. Right. And safety speed is you wait for contact and make sure it's on the ground, but you start out with a good lead and keep coming if it turns out right.
Well played by the Panthers. And that brings Miller Sheets back to the plate. Sheets had he had a base hit.
Yeah, he singled and was left at third base in the first inning.
He looks at ball one up high. 4-0 your score now. And this already is going to be the 50th pitch of the game for Carter Whipple. Driven through the right side, base hit. Runner going from second. Here's the throw. Rogers gets the tag in. Out at home, excellent throw by Zachary Kinchin. And Rogers with the tag, and the Panthers get out of it with no further damage.
That's Zach Kitchen out there in right field. He come out throwing. He knew exactly. He didn't have to stop and think about where he was going. He came in knowing he's going home with it, and he comes up and make a strong throw home. And like I said, Rogers makes the catch and puts the tag on the base runner, and he was out and he wasn't close.
Excellent defense. Not often that you see 2 of the 3 outs in an inning coming at home plate. But the Panthers fielded that very well. Good defense right there for the Berwick Panthers. Patterson State Bank, our thanks to PSB. Free checking, great rates, low down payment home loan options, and the best in mobile banking. PSB, quality community banking since 1925. Tiger Island Hardware on Highway 182 in Morgan City. Hammering your projects by nailing your needs. Visit us at tihardware.com. Team at Halamar Shipyard is proud to support Berwick High School in their quest for another state baseball title. Go Panthers. And Allen's Communications, locally owned TV, cable, internet, and telephone service. Call 384-8335. Defending state champion Berwick Panthers looking for their 4th title in school history. They won titles in 1978, 2018, and then again last year. Likewise, Sterlington has 3 titles. They're newcomers to putting the big gold baseball trophy in their trophy case. All of their titles coming in the last 6 years, 2017, 2019, and 2021.
And on that 1978 baseball team, assistant coach Led Henry was an integral part of that team just before he goes on to play at McNeese for 4 years.
First pitch to Rhett Ratcliffe is a swing and a miss for strike 1. Sims delivers low and outside, ball 1, 1-1 count. Sterling Sims son of Sterlington head coach Mark Sims. Winds and fires. This is driven into the gap. A little confusion, and ball gets down.
Well, again, that wind is blowing in. All right? Neither player called for it because they didn't know if they could get to it. It turns out neither could actually make the catch, get to it enough to make the catch. So it'll drop in for a single.
You had Adams backing up from second, Bruscato coming in from right field. Adams attempted to make the play and could not come down with it. So the Panthers, for the first time, get the leadoff runner on base. Sims right away checks the runner, Ratcliffe. He's back safe.
Lodrig drew a leadoff walk to start the game, his first at-bat. Got left on base. Did pick up a steal.
Thank you, I forgot about that. That was a leadoff runner. How are you going to score that, a hit or an error?
What?
You scored that, a hit or an error.
Oh, I gave him a hit all the way.
Called strike one on Lodrig. He takes one on the corner. 4-0 your score. Sterlington over Berwick, top of the third. Sims goes back to first base. Here's the 1-1. Runners going, fouled off into the screen. Hit and run all the way.
At the plate for the Panthers is Gavin Darby.
No, this is Lodrig.
Oh, no, Lodrig's still there. I'm sorry. I was thinking we got a new one. But, yeah, still Lodrig there.
All right. He waits for the 1-2. First, Sims going to check Ratcliffe again at first. All right, Sims gets the side. Comes the first, up high. Ball 2.
Well, you have what you want here for Berwick. You have your 9-hole hitter gets on with a hit. Now you're at the top of the batting order with a base runner and nobody out. There's another little blooper, short right, coming up, and the catch is made by
This
the
time
right
it's
fielder.
Bruscato.
That one
Bruscato handles that this time. Downs made a long run at it from center field, but it was Bruscato's play. All the way.
Yeah, well, the wind
down.
kind of held that one up, too. Gave him time to get there, a little extra time to get there. Because that was hit right into the teeth of a 18, 20-mile-an-hour wind, steady blowing in from right field.
Darby's first pitch, first swing, fouls it behind the screen, ball, strike one. This is getting so reminiscent of last year's semifinal against Kinder, when you saw balls that just looked good off the bat and then they just went nowhere.
Very close play right there at first base. But back in time is Ratcliffe. Now Gavin Darby's at the plate. Darby
another
looked
one
at his
into the
third
screen.
strike in the first inning.
2 pitches, 2 foul balls, 0-2 count to Darby. Sims takes a moment to get himself straight. Looks in. And fires up high, ball 1. Sterlington wearing what I'd call old-fashioned uniforms, the vest-style uniforms with white vest over a blue shirt, blue sleeves, blue trim. Berwick in their traditional old gold jerseys with the black hats. 1-2 pitch. Popped up again. This time Birch getting over there. Sims looking at it. And did somebody catch it? Couldn't see.
I couldn't tell. He's not out. So if he caught it, it hit the fence first because it's going to be a foul ball.
Yeah, the Sterlington students reacted like it was going to be an out, so I guess somebody caught it.
It was close. I mean, we couldn't really see whether it hit that fence or not, or even if he caught it. But he came up with the ball in his hand. So if he caught it in the air, it was still a foul ball. He must have touched the fence while it was in the air.
All right, so we'll redo the 1-2 pitch. Sims looks, fires, swing and a miss. That was probably ball 2 that Darby just took a mighty cut at. But it's 2 out for the Panthers.
That'll bring to the plate the 3-hole hitter, Henry Ferguson. Ferguson struck out in the first inning swinging.
First pitch, foul back into the screen. Sims' pitch count is not bad at all. He's at 43. Here's the 0-1. Popped up again. All the way back and out of play for strike 2. Over on the field next to us, the other semifinal. South Beauregard is rolling 6-1 over Doyle in the 3rd inning. Winner of that game plays the winner of this one on Friday afternoon. 0-2 pitch, runners going, and he is out, thrown out at second by Connor Justice. Miller Sheets applies the tag, and Ratcliffe is out. And the Panthers again unable to put anything on the scoreboard.
Ferguson was at the plate when this happened, so he'll be there to start the 4th inning. And we will move to the bottom of the 3rd. And in the bottom of the 3rd, Sterlington will start off with their 6-hole hitter and first baseman Trey Birch. Birch drew a walk, got left on base in the 1st inning. He'll be followed by the center fielder Dylan Downs, and then the catcher Connor Justice. In positions that 6, 7, and 8-hole hitters coming to the plate.
Let's thank a few sponsors. Mayor Duval Arthur, the town council and administration for the town of Berwick wish the Panthers best of luck in the semifinals. GJCurbside.com, your complete online grocery store, including local and regional products. Check our website for delivery options from our curb to yours. GJ Curbside. Thank you so much to Eric Lynn over there at GJ Curbside. Intermore Offshore and Fabrication, based in Morgan City for 50 years, with worldwide support of the oil and gas industry. At Intermore, we do more. And Lafayette Electric, 1207 Greenwood Street in Morgan City, proud supporter of high school baseball in the Tri-City area. The sun has made an appearance here in Sulphur.
Not a bright sun, but a lot lighter than it was at any point earlier today.
Yeah, it was brief. Now it's gone again.
Yeah.
That didn't last very long at all. All right, the warm-ups are done. Thanks to everybody watching us here and listening, actually listening. Wish we could be showing it to you, but we appreciate you listening in here for the updates on the KWBJ Live YouTube channel. Please hit that like button and subscribe while you're here. Number 22 steps to the plate. That is Trey Birch. Big first baseman looks at strike 1 on the outside corner.
Chris, I think we have a new pitcher out there.
Oh, we do?
Yep. It's number 21 for the Panthers. Is that? I think that might be White, but let me check. Yep, Grant White is on the mound now for the Panthers.
Grant White, the junior. Get you his stats in just a moment. Strike 2. Actually, these stats are updated through last weekend. White has pitched 27.2 innings, has a 4.05 ERA. This is his second relief appearance. No, that's not right. I got too many numbers. This is his 14th appearance, 13th in relief.
Scoreboard had 3-1 on before that pitch, but the umpire's putting his hands up saying, no, it was 2-2, and it's now 3-2.
Yeah, I got lost there for a second as well. All right, so we got a full count now. White comes to the plate. Birch back up the middle. Soft fly ball fielded by Ratcliffe behind second base for the first out.
The Birch with 2 strikes had that pitch on the outside part of the plate, and he went after it, got it with the end of the bat, and just popped it up on the infield. Ratcliffe with the catch.
That will bring to the plate Dylan Downs, the center fielder. Brother of third baseman Devin Downs, who has really done some damage at the plate.
Yeah, Dylan had a sacrifice fly.
Dylan lays a bunt down here, fielded by White over the first, 2 away. Got to rely on the quickness here, but White did a good job quickly getting off the mound. Ball bunted a little bit down to the, shading the third base side. White handled it nicely.
Yeah, we had a sacrifice fly in the first inning. Got an RBI out of, but this is a bunt for a hit because there's nobody on base to sacrifice over.
So he's 0 for 2, and here's Connor Justice. Sterlington catcher looks at a ball down low. White gets the sign, comes to the plate, low and outside, ball 2. And even from here, I could tell that was low and outside. So White falls behind here. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Curveball in for strike 1. Two on the count now. To Justice. Looks at called strike 2.
Nice little breaking ball right at the knees.
I was trying to talk to Tim last week about how to tell a curveball from a sinker or a slider. And he can, I guess those younger eyes, I say younger eyes, he's older than I am, but he can see the rotation of the ball and tell from that what the pitch is. I just see a white ball going at the plate, so all I can say is breaking ball.
Well, that's why I go with breaking ball a lot, because it did break. Now, whether it was a slider or a curveball, it did break.
2-2 pitch outside, ball 3.
That was a fastball there that missed outside. Tried to get him to chase one. It was a little bit too far out.
All right, full count. White delivers outside. Took a moment for everybody to realize that was ball 4, I believe.
Yeah, including the hitter.
Made me start looking at the scoreboard.
Yeah, we see the opposite a lot of times where they try to take off early, but this time he waited for the umpire to tell him to go to first base. And that one was pretty obvious. And that is the catcher, Connor Justice, that drew that walk. So he has a courtesy runner standing on first base.
That is J. Rob Breen, one of 3 pairs of brothers on this Sterlington roster. And coming to the plate, Peyton Robinson. I believe walked in the first inning or second inning. Yeah, he's the 9-hole hitter. Drew a leadoff walk last inning.
Drew a walk and scored a run.
Sterlington has sent a lot of batters to the plate. You're already twice through the lineup in the 3rd inning. First pitch, that's in, called strike 1. White checks a runner at first. And goes to first. Runners back.
Well, you know you're not going to have a courtesy runner that's slow, okay? So I got to think he's a base-stealing threat at first base.
You would hope not anyway.
Yeah. Not on a well-coached team that's playing in the state semifinals.
0-1 pitch is a curveball. Nice-looking pitch. Strike 2.
Yeah, we're back at the top of the batting order with second baseman Travis Adams, who's 1 for 2 on the day. He doubled in the first inning and scored a run, flied out to left field.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. For a ball again. This one misses outside. Ball one. The crowd wanted that one, but I think that's a good call.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, we have got an excellent contingent of Berwick students over there. There are a bunch of them. 1-2.
So
Frank
what
goes
you're
back to
saying
first
is they
base.
gave them the day off?
Must have.
Yeah. Or there's a whole lot of kids playing hooky.
Yeah. Big pile of parental excuses on Mr. Principal Tony Lynn's desk right now. 1-2 pitch. Nope. Go back to first base. White paying a lot of attention to Breen over there on first. Sterlington scored 3 runs in the first, 1 in the second, but have been held scoreless so far here in the third. 1-2 pitch. Runner fakes. Ball's outside. Ball 2. The sun is back out as the 2-2 is on the way. Woo! Slow roller to second. Ratcliffe takes it. Underhand throw is not in time. Diving effort by Robinson to get in and beat the throw. It was a very slow rolling ball off the end of the bat. That will go down, I think, as an infield single. Certainly not much anybody can do about that one.
No.
That was a nasty breaking pitch thrown by White.
Yeah, he got that right.
I honestly say
bat.
I think Robinson got fooled by that, but he got fortunate to get a piece of the bat on it.
Yeah, it was an outside pitch, and he swung at it and got it off the end of the bat. That's why it didn't have a lot of steam on it. It wasn't rolling real fast to Ratcliffe. He flipped it underhand, but I think if he had a chance to do it over again, he'd come overhand and put a little more on it.
Yeah.
Because he didn't need a whole lot more, just a little more. He'd have got the out.
Back to the top of the order, and Travis Adams, second baseman, looks at called strike 1. White checks the runner at second, comes to the plate, driven back up the middle. Right at Thorgerson, though, will take a few steps up and make the catch. And the Panthers are out of the inning.
So for the first inning today, the Berwick Panthers held the Sterlington Panthers to no runs.
Our thanks to Core Physical Therapy and Sports Performance, here to restore the quality of life you deserve on Brashear Avenue in Morgan City. Chet Sternfeld, just one of those cornerstones of sports. What's the word I want? Sports support, athletic support in the Morgan City area. Thank you, Chet. AJ Doman Automotive Family at the foot of the Highway 90 Bridge in Berwick. Lapco Manufacturing. Feel safe, work smart, look good with Lapco FR. www.lapco.com. Stansbury and Associates, marine surveyors and consultants, offering a full range of service for recreational, commercial, and fishing vessels. Good luck, Panthers. And good luck to the Panthers from Leo and everyone at the Tri-City Transmission. 230 Bowman Street in Berwick, supporting all of our Tri-City high schools. I was trying not to say that he's an athletic supporter.
Yeah.
Chet's a great guy and really just never, another one of those guys that just never says no when we call about a sponsorship. All right, we go to the top of the fourth inning. Henry Thorgerson, who made the last out, is back to the plate. He was at the plate when a runner was thrown out at first base in the third inning, so he comes back up, hits one to the right side, just past Adams. They'll have a try. Almost got him thrown out from right field. The ball got past Adams, diving for the ball. Bruscato in right field charged it hard and actually almost threw Thorgerson out at first base, but he is in safe for the single. So now another leadoff runner on base for the Panthers to see if they can capitalize. They haven't yet. Carter Whipple swing and a miss for strike one. Sims checks Thorgerson. Looks to the plate. Comes to the plate. Down low, ball one. One pitch. Foul down the right field line and out of play. '50th pitch of the game coming up here for Sterling Sims. One-two pitch. Up high, ball two. Sims checks runner at first. Back to first again by Sims. Just kind of, I've got my eyes on you throw over there, not a serious pickoff attempt on either one. Now the 2-2 comes to the plate, swing and a miss. Strike three, and that's one away.
So that's Whipple's second strikeout today. Hey, Chris, did you notice where he went to play defense? Because he's still in the ball game, evidently.
I did not notice.
He came in for White. I mean, White came in to the mound for him.
Right.
White was not on the field at the time.
Try to look around and figure out where he went.
We'll try to find him for you.
Matthews is the batter now, and he looks at strike one.
Yeah, he struck out looking in to start the second inning.
He looked at 3 pitches, all strikes. This time takes a cut and fouls it back into the screen, strike two. Sims, very slow working. Matthews fouls this one back into the screen, hanging in there this time. He has yet to see a ball. He's only seen 6 pitches and 2 at-bats, and every one, either looking or swinging, was a strike.
Including this one.
Another one that he just gets a piece of. Straight down into the plate, and we will stay at 0-2. Ferguson at first after the leadoff single. Here's the 0-2. Matthews holds off, and it's outside, ball one. Back over to first. Not in time. Sims did pick off a runner at first base last inning. Here's a 1-2. Up high, ball two. Sims has been very solid on the mound for Sterlington today. 2-2 pitch. Outside, ball three. Matthews hitting .202 on the season. A little bit below that now after striking out in his last at-bat. Another throw over the first, not in time. Full count. Sims with the payoff pitch, ground ball, left into foul territory. Fielded cleanly by Cody Ortego, but he messed up the transfer and just gives the ball over to the Sterlington dugout.
So Matthews wanted to get his money's worth up there.
This time he's getting some pitches.
He's fouled off a bunch of 2-strike pitches, and he also looked at 3 balls, so he's still hitting with the full count.
And he draws a walk.
Pretty good job of hitting right there.
Very good at that. He saw 8 or 9 pitches that time. And that will bring Mark Sims out of the Sterlington dugout and in for a meeting, as for the first time, Berwick's got a runner at, I believe this is the first time they've got a runner at second base.
I think you are correct. No, we are. Eli Lodrig drew the walk and stole second base in the first inning. And
that's right.
It's the only one that got to second base.
Right, he got stranded
now,
there.
you know.
Berwick's only had 5 base runners all game.
Right. Ferguson is there now, so it's important, I think, for Berwick to get a run, at least one run here, if not 2 or 3.
And I owe an apology to the Sterlington fans. You know, we did this game, and we're doing this game. We did the Central Catholic game last night, and in pretty short notice, it was a lot to do to get everything ready. And there's always that one thing that you kind of don't have to go check yourself on and know you got right. And later on, you realize you got it wrong.
Yeah.
And in this case, it was the fact that I called Sterlington the Tigers on the graphic. And by the time I realized it, we were already 150 miles away from the studio here in Sulphur. And I do apologize for the graphic that says Sterlington Tigers. They are the Panthers, just like Berwick. Coach Ben Sheets said, well, just tell everybody you did that on purpose so that you could say Berwick is the real Panthers.
Yeah. At the plate now, your right fielder, Zach Kitchen. Kitchen grounded to third base in the second inning.
Kitchen looked at strike 1 and now drives one over the right field. Briscato ranges over, makes the catch. Runner will advance from second to third. Good throw, but not quite in time. As Ferguson gets to third, it was close.
I thought he had overslid the base, which he kind of did, because I saw his hand hit the bag and then come off. But I was blocking, couldn't see, but his left foot was on the bag at the same time.
Good throw by Briscato.
It sure was.
The infields, we've mentioned this before. I don't think we said it this year, though. The infields here in Sulphur are all turf, and that includes what would normally be dirt. This is it's artificial turf that's colored like the red dirt of a traditional infield, and it can be hard, and you can get some slide that you didn't think you were going to get on normal dirt. Now Sterlington, their home field, their home diamond is the same way. They've got artificial turf on the field, so they're a little more used to this than Berwick is.
Okay, your scheduled hitter to come up right here is Cole Morris, but we're going to have a pinch hitter.
This is going to be Ian Thorgerson.
Okay.
Making just he's only got 2 official at-bats on the year. I don't have his plate appearances, but he's hitless in 2 previous at-bat attempts. Sims goes over to third, or rather over the first, not in time. You got Henry Thorgerson at third, Matthews at first.
I think they're brothers, the Thorgersons, the children of Brian Thorgerson, because I know him as Bud.
Check swing, up high, ball 1. Two out, runners on first and third. Berwick needs a run here. They trail 4-0 in the 4th. Pitch down the heart of the plate for strike 1. Sims comes set. Quick glance over at third, comes to the plate, swing and a miss. Strike 2. Who was Thorgerson pinch hitting for?
Cole Morris.
That's right. And Morris
third
had
baseman.
That collision. That was
That's true.
third
That
last
may
inning.
have something to do with it.
That pitch up
Pitch up
high.
high.
Matthews caught in the rundown and tagged out. Not sure what happened there. Matthews possibly looking at a delayed steal, but he kept on going, and it was an easy tag out as they threw him out trying to take second. The Panthers missed an opportunity there. So we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Sterlington still with a 4-0 lead.
Okay, Grant White will return to the mound.
Our thanks to Oshner Health of St. Mary, quality health care close to home. Taco Bell in Morgan City and Bayou Vista, open late night, delivery through DoorDash. Cajun Coast Visitors and Convention Bureau. Come eat your way through the shrimply delicious food trail on the Cajun Coast. Get your passport to nearly 30 great restaurants in our area, eat shrimp, and win a t-shirt. Visit CajunCoast.com/shrimp-trail for details. And Patterson State Bank, free checking, great rates, low down payment home loan options, and the best in mobile banking. PSB, quality community banking since 1925. Matthews has moved over to third base. Zachary Kitchen is at first. That is.
Hey, I'm going to assume that's Whipple out there in right field. I can't really see the number.
Yes, it is. That's Whipple.
Okay, it looks like him. I said I couldn't quite pick up the number.
And is that still Lodrigue in left? Yes, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Did not look like Lodrigue. All right, so we've got Kitchen at first.
Okay, in the bottom of the 4th, the Sterlington will lead off with Sterling Sims, the pitcher. He is 1 for 2. He struck out in the 1st and singled in the 2nd.
Second pitch to him over the right side and in for the base hit. Radcliffe made a strong effort to get to it, just could not get there. Courtesy runner coming in for Sims. That will be Jason King again. Jackson King, excuse me. Jackson King is the courtesy runner. And that will bring to the plate Devin Downs.
Downs is a regular third baseman. And he is 2 for 2 on the day. He had a double in the 1st and scored a run and singled in the 2nd and was thrown out at home plate.
Takes called strike 1. White curveball up in the letters, called strike 2. If you were late joining us, Sterlington came up in the bottom of the 1st inning and made a statement with 4 base hits, including 2 doubles, one which was a warning track double, the second was a ground rule double bouncing over the left field fence. Here's the 0-2. Well, White will go to first base instead. Checks King. He's in safe. We'll go 0-2 again. White to the plate. Outside. Ball 1. In the bottom of the 4th here at McMurray Park in Sulphur. What a facility this is. If you've never seen it and you're a baseball fan, you owe it to yourself to come out here sometime.
Not to mention you'd see some pretty good baseball.
Oh, absolutely. This is driven down the right field line. It will tail away foul.
It's not just the baseball, Chris, it's the event as well.
Absolutely.
You know, it's state championship, semis, and finals, 10 different divisions.
Yeah, I've been to a lot
you're
of...
looking at 30 baseball games you get to pick from.
Yeah,
right?
I've been to a lot of state finals events in a lot of different sports, and it's always about the atmosphere. It's always tremendous out here. That pitch was down and low and away for ball 2. Devin Downs, your batter. The sun appears to be out to stay now. As White comes to the plate, that one's well outside. Rogers has to knock it down. Downs can't go anywhere, but we've got a full count. White looks over his shoulder at first. Into the stretch, the pitch, curveball, pops straight up and back out of play. it never really occurred to me until Tim Hemel mentioned it last week how often you see multiple foul balls on a full count.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the pitchers focused on throwing a strike, and the batters focused on not striking out. So you just want to make contact with it.
That misses up high. Berwick fans disagree with some passion, but it is ball 4. And Downs will take second base, or first base.
Berwick fans were cheering until the umpire said ball 4. Because they thought it was a strike.
Yeah, that one changed quickly.
Yep.
All right, so that brings Easton Brascato to the plate for Sterlington. The runners on first and second and nobody out. White took a little too long. Brascato calls timeout to reset himself.
We saw that a lot last night.
Yep.
Opelousas Catholic frequently called timeout. The batters called timeout.
Now the umpire called timeout again, stop play. This time, I think they felt like White started to get into his motion before the umpire had called for the resumption of play. Now the pitch, up and in, ball 1.
Yeah, we're seeing shadows for the first time this last few days.
Yep. Cloudy all day yesterday for the Central Catholic game. Started under heavy cloud cover today. Brascato showing bunt, pulls it back, inside ball 2. White checks a runner at second. Batter squares again, pulls it back again this time, called strike 1.
That would have been, of course, he may not want to go down first base line because Kitchen over there on first base is charging hard, but that was a good pitch to bunt down that first base line, not so much down the third base line.
That one driven down the third base line, but tailing away foul.
Hit real hard, he's just a little bit ahead of it. Line drive, but foul. 2-2.
All right. White peers in, gets the sign from Rogers. Sets himself. 2-2 on the way, outside. And another full count. White came in, I believe was it late in the second or late in the third inning?
Yeah, I think he started the third inning.
That's right. Drive to right field. Sterlington drops in front of Whipple for a base hit. Runner coming around. Here's a throw to the plate. Rogers gets it, but it's off target. And the run scores. Whipple's throw was there in time, but it was well to the right of the plate. And Rogers really did not have time to get a throw in or get a tag in. Runner advances to third. And it's a 5-0 game. Sterlington. Coach Ortego will come out again to talk. Brascato with the single extends Sterlington's lead. Thank you so much for joining us here on the KWBJ Live YouTube channel. We appreciate it. We've had a lot of fun this season, a lot of traveling this year.
Yeah, it's been fun though. I've enjoyed it. I think I said this last night, going to these different places, a lot of places I've never been before, like last weekend, you know, up at Jules Sumner. And, I've heard of the school before. I had no idea where it was, but now I do. You know, a nice facility out there, and several other places that we've been able to go to, and it's been a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, when we made the schedule at the beginning of the year, we took the attitude that as much as possible, we were going to try to bring you games that it was going to be difficult for the home fans to get to.
Right.
That's why we picked a lot of games that were out of town and with early start times as well. We did a lot of 4 o'clock baseball on the road. So, as you said, A lot of different ballparks we saw this year. Some great hospitality all over South Louisiana this year.
Chris, Ian Ferguson did stay in the ball game, and he is now playing second base.
Okay. This is Miller Sheets stepping in and looking at a called strike one. A lot of changes all around the Berwick defensive lineup. We've got, I believe, 5 guys now not playing their original positions.
Sheets is the shortstop, and he is 2 for 2 today. He singled in the first and singled in the second.
Looks at another curveball, strike 2.
He also got left on base twice. It was on his single that the third out was made at home plate.
White tries the outside corner, just misses it. Ball 1. Nobody out for the Panthers here in the bottom of the 4th. They've already given up a run. Have another runner in scoring position. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Sheets looks at another one. Oh! I thought he was going to ring that one up, but it's on the outside for ball 2. That looked good from here. Roscato, short lead off first. Here's a 2-2. Popped up, left center. Long run for Lodrig, all the way back on the warning track, makes the catch. Or just short of the warning track. That'll score the run. But Downs trots in easily from third base. First out of the inning, but another run for Sterlington. So it is 6-0 now. Sterlington batting in the bottom of the 4th with 1 out.
Roscato did stay at first base. He did not advance to second. He was expecting a throw to second. Didn't happen, but now he'll get second base.
Yeah, that one gets by Rogers. Roscato will easily take second base. Bottom of the 4th here. They're moving along a little more nicely on the other field. Looks like they're in the bottom of the 6th, and South Beauregard, the #1 seed here in Division III, still with a 6-1 lead over Doyle. So it's looking good that South Beauregard is going to advance to the championship game Friday afternoon or Friday evening. It'll be a 5 o'clock start time. Batter squares, plays down the bunt down the third base line. Long throw for White. It is in time for the out. Trey Birch out at first, but he gets the runner over to third base.
Back-to-back sacrifices. One's a sacrifice fly that scored a run, and this is a sacrifice bunt that moved the runner on second over to third. So there'll be a runner standing on third with 2 outs.
All right, Aaron, many times I've heard you say everybody's happy on a sacrifice, but Coach Mark Sims did not look happy there. Unless he was just being awfully animated in his congratulations to Trey Birch as he walked off the
Maybe he
field.
didn't call the bunt.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, yeah. If he didn't call for a bunt, he might not be as happy.
Dylan Downs, your batter now. He looks at ball 1. Roscato stands on third.
Downs is
steps off.
0 for 1 on the game. He did have a sacrifice fly in the first inning and grounded out to the pitcher in the third.
All right, here's the 1-0. Popped up. Out of play. The wind is now shifted a little bit. It seems to be blowing directly in from center field. Here's the 1-1. Curveball misses down low. Rogers takes a peek over at third, and Roscato scurries back. Two outs, bottom of the 4th. Here's the 2-1. That one's right down the middle, called strike 2. And Downs looked like he was taking all the way there. So, 2-2 count. Here's White, fires, checks swing, got him. Called strike 3. But Sterlington adds another run. And we will go to the top. They added 2 runs actually in that inning. And we will go to the top of the 5th. Sterlington leading Berwick 6-0. Let's thank a few more sponsors. Where were we? Tiger Island Hardware on Highway 182 in Morgan City. Hammering your projects by nailing your needs. Visit us at tihardware.com. The team at Halamar Shipyard is proud to support Berwick High School in their quest for another state baseball title. Go Panthers. And Allen's Communications, locally owned TV, cable, internet, and telephone service. 384-8335.
Okay, we're going to move to the top of the 5th inning. And here in the top of the 5th, Ferguson was at the plate when Matthews got thrown out stealing. And let's see, is he going to stay there? If he does, Berwick will start off with Ferguson, followed by the 8-hole hitter, Evan Krappel, shortstop. And then the 9-hole hitter, well, Ratcliffe, but I think Ratcliffe may have come out of the game. Looks like White's going to start off.
No, that's 23.
Oh, it's 23.
That's
Okay.
Leif Bella. Now, okay, apparently, if a batter does not complete an at-bat and comes back for the next inning, you can apparently sub.
Well, you
Leif Bella.
can, yeah, you start
Right
over
side.
because your count starts over.
Right.
You know, he's going to come to the plate with a 0-0 count. So they'll put Leif in.
All right, so Leif Bella will step in. He's Crew Bella's younger brother, right?
I think so, but I'm not certain.
I'm just mentioning that because I saw Crew here a little while ago, making a long ride over from Summit, Mississippi, Southwest Mississippi Community College. First pitch to Leif Bella is low for ball 1. Sims still going strong for Sterlington. And he misses again for ball 2. I say going strong, he's still in. Hasn't had any trouble yet. He's up to 68 pitches now. Really not an issue. That's not a bad count through 4 innings. Called strike 1 there. And a fastball on the outside corner for strike 2. Ideally, you'd like to be below 15 pitches per inning. He's a little bit above that, not too high. So this is not a bad position for Sims. Ground ball right back to Sims. He will jog over halfway to first, underhanded over to Downs for the first out.
Well, Chris, he's throwing, like you mentioned, where he's up to 71 pitches now, but the Panthers, Berwick Panthers, have not gone through their batting order twice as of yet. In fact, this is the 8-hole hitter in the second time around. That's Krappel at the plate. He flied out to right field in the second inning.
First pitch is in for called strike 1. To Evan Krappel. This one fouled off almost into the first base dugout. Another thing about these ballparks at Sulphur, if you're not on the field, you are well protected. There are screens and fences everywhere, and it would be difficult for anything to get into a position to hurt somebody.
And there's a perfect example of what you were talking about right on cue. He lined that off right into the fence, right in front of the Berwick student section. So that would have been in the Berwick student section without a fence that's got to be 35 to 40 feet high. Yeah.
Another one fouled back into the screen. So Krappel getting his money's worth here. 4 pitches, still sitting on a low 2 count.
It's called protecting the plate.
There's another 0-2. That one misses down low, ball 1.
White is in the on-deck circle, so he's actually entered the game for Rhett Ratcliffe.
Ground ball to third base. Long throw up for downs, throw over to Birch, not in time. That'll be an infield single for Crappell. Downs at third was playing an awful long way back. Had to charge that all the way up into the green grass representing turf, or turf that represents the grass. And it's an infield single.
Grant White.
All right, so Grant White will step in and bat for himself. He's a 185 hitter on the season. Panthers just need to get base runners going here. That misses outside, ball one. Sims checks the runner at first, looks in, throws in, swing and a miss. Strike one. Quick snap throw over to first, not in time. That ball was not very far off the bag to begin with. Eli Lodrig has the only stolen base of the game for Berwick, and that was way back in the first inning.
That was the first hitter of the game.
Right. White swings and misses at strike two. And now back against the wall here. Stands way back in the batter's box. Awaits the 1-2 offering. Here it is, outside. Ball two. Crappell really not looking to steal here. Short lead off of first. Sims to the plate. Swing and a miss. Strike three.
Well, White goes down swinging for the second out here in the fifth inning. We'll move to the top of the batting order, and Eli Lodrig drew a walk and stole a base in the first, and he flied out to right field in the third.
As you mentioned, this will be just the third time down the batting order for Berwick. Lodrig looks at called strike one.
Not a pitch you really want to hit with no strikes on, because that's a big outside corner strike and fastball out there. Unless you're looking to go to the right field, try to hit behind the runner maybe. But otherwise, you want to lay off of that with no strikes, especially.
Lodrig gets a timeout call from the umpire just as Sims started into his motion. Seems like we saw a lot of that yesterday during the Central Opelousas game. And you kind of hate to do that once the batter or the pitcher is into his motion. Now Sims delivers and it's up high for ball one.
Well, you know, just because he asks for timeout doesn't mean the umpire has to give it to him.
That's right.
You know, and in some cases, if he asks too late, the umpire won't give. Now, if he asks soon enough, the umpire will almost always give it to you.
Yep.
But you got to ask before he starts his motion, and generally, you know, they'll stop it before, but not after.
Fastball misses outside, ball two. Sterlington fans grumble at that one a little bit. Sterlington infield playing straight away, but Birch holding the runner at first as this pitch is low and in the dirt for ball three. Crappell takes his lead off first. 3-1 pitch on the way, swings foul back into the screen. Another full count. 2 out, top of the fifth. Berwick running out of outs here. They've got a long way to climb back in this one. Runners going as that ball's hit straight to third base. Downs fields it over to Birch, and that's 3 away. Panthers still looking for that first run of the game. They trail 6-0. About By the way, if you were following last night, we were giving you updates on the other semifinal game with as Central Catholic and Opelousas Catholic were playing. We were updating the other semifinal game, and that one between Covenant Christian and Glenbrook, but that game was running behind. Glenbrook ended up coming from behind to beat Covenant Christian, so in that final next week, it's going to be the number 1 seed next week, actually this Friday. It's going to be the number 1 seed Opelousas Catholic against number 11 Glenbrook as they upset the number 2 seed Covenant Christian.
Now pitching for Berwick, number 23.
Okay, Chris, I'll wait next door right here to get a speed on Sim's pitching speed. How fast he's throwing. Got a man with a real radar gun over here. And in the beginning of the game, most of his pitches were 82 to 84. He touched 88 once. But lately, the last couple innings, he's been at 78 to 81. Stayed in that range, and he says he's thrown very, very few breaking balls. It's almost all fastballs.
So he hadn't lost a whole lot of speed. That reference to a real gun,
Yeah.
that comes from last night. I told you, I picked up a little radar gun app on my phone. It's not really a radar so much as a timer. And the first time I tried to use it last night, I believe it was for Cade Menina for Central Catholic, and it was on a called strike 3. I got 103 miles an hour. Yeah, look, Cade's a fine pitcher, but he's not throwing 103. So I shut off the app at that point.
If he was, he could get paid for this next year if he was doing this.
Pitching change for the Panthers as Leif Bella steps to the plate, onto the mound. So we will close the book on Grant White and see what Leif Bella has to offer. He will face, I can't see the number yet, is it Briscato? Are we back to Briscato?
Well, we're...
No, it's number 19, Connor Justice.
Yeah. Yeah, and Justice is 0 for 1. He flied out in the first and walked and was left on base in the third.
He looks at called strike 1 and called strike 2 right there. So Bella quickly up ahead, 0-2. That pitch just misses on the outside corner, ball 1. See if we've got some pitching stats on Bella. Very little. He's only pitched 6.2 innings so far. That one is down low, ball 2. This is his 6th appearance of the year. He's got a 5.25 ERA. Here's the 2-2, and that hit him. That, surprisingly, is the first hit batsman of the game for either team.
We probably had it one game where we saw at least 8 or 10 hit batters, it seemed like, last weekend.
Yeah. Berwick and Jules Sumner really struggled to not hit batters for a while.
Yeah, and it wasn't one team. It was both teams doing it, so that's why we had so many.
Courtesy runner in for Justice is J. Rob Breen. And we get Peyton Robinson coming to the plate.
I think to start one of the games, and I don't remember which game it was because they all kind of run together, I think Berwick had hit 3 out of the first 5 batters.
That was in game 2.
Game 2.
Yep. First pitch to Robinson's up high, or up in the letters for called strike 1. Bella from the stretch, comes set, fires. Batter squares and bunts it foul. Popped it up, but
Peyton Robinson is
the
DH, and he is 1 for 1 on the day. He walked and scored a run in the second inning, and he singled in the third. He was left on base.
All right, here's the 0-2. Robinson squares again. Bella steps off, peeks over at first base, and preps himself again. Now the batter calls timeout. Coach Mark Sims wants to reiterate his signals to Robinson. Squares the bunt again. Here's the pitch, pulls it back. Looks at one high and inside, ball 1. That one had Robinson flinching. All right, 1-2, and again, Robinson squares. Can't imagine he's going to actually try to put down a bunt with 2 strikes. Now he pulls it back, and the pitch is up high. Ball 2. Just trying to distract Bella a little bit. He will do so again. Robinson shows bunt, pulls it back, the pitch up high once more. And the count's full. Bella got ahead 0-2, and now he's delivered 3 straight balls.
Because they don't mind the sacrifice bunts because they've had 3 successful ones so far in this ball game.
Yeah.
Not to mention a couple of fly ball sacrifices.
And there's ball 4. And now it's runners at first and second for Sterlington. I think there's only been 1 inning where Sterlington didn't really have a scoring threat.
Well, they've scored in 3 of the first 4 innings. And, yeah, they actually, you could be, they didn't really, they had a runner on second base. They had runners on first and second in the third. And they were left on base there.
We're at the top of the order again, and Travis Adams takes a huge cut. And
we must have had a balk because both runners will advance to second and third with nobody out in the top of the batting order at the plate. And that's Travis Adams. Adams is 1 for 3 today. He led the game off with a double and scored a run. Flied out to left field in the second and flied out to center field in the third.
They're showing a strike on the scoreboard.
Now
Okay,
they took it off.
All right. So that pitch did not count.
Yeah.
Adams looks at ball 1 outside, and
it probably was in the strike zone. However, because of the balk, the pitch is wiped off the board.
right. This has popped up, goes straight to center. Ferguson going back, misses, trying to make the over-the-shoulder catch. It bounces off center field wall. 1 run will score, 2 runs score. Adams is in with a stand-up triple. And Sterlington now takes an 8-0 lead. Adams, for the second time in this game, drives a ball over an outfielder's head. Had a stand-up double in the first inning, and now a stand-up triple here in the 5th. And quickly, Cody Odegaard to the mound, and that's going to be all for Leif Bella. Defensive changes coming. Let's see if I can keep up with them as we wait to see who the pitcher's going to be. Grant White is moving over to third. Matthews is going back to first. Or maybe not. Now White's headed for the dugout, as the pitcher coming into the game is going to be number 1, Zachary Kitchen. Zachary Kitchen.
You're doing what I was doing all last weekend.
I'm going to add that in there.
Yeah.
There's no N.
If I think about it, I get it right, but if I look it down and see the name, I want to go with Kitchen for some reason, but we know it's Kitchen.
Boy, there are just so many changes to try to keep up. Eli Lodrigue is at second now. He started the game in left field, so I can't see who the left fielder is. Actually, who's that over there? Is that?
I can't tell, Chris. Too far away for me to see it. And looking through that net doesn't make it any easier.
The third baseman is now going to be Rhett Ratcliffe. He had left the game. And now will come back and play third base.
Now, it gets critical right here for Berwick in that they're down 8-0 in the bottom of the 5th. A runner on third base. 2 more runs could end the game here.
Yep, you start thinking about that at this point. You can see the 10-run rule come into play. Still cannot see who that is. It might be White out in left field. I think that's who it is.
It could be him. It looks a little bit like him, but again, like I said, my eyes aren't nearly good enough to make that determination.
That's the name I'm going to write. I've got so many erasure marks and scratch outs on my fielding card.
Yep.
it's a guess. We might just start calling everybody by their fielding position.
Yeah. Kind of go that way.
I'm not sure I can keep up here. All right, so Kitchen goes to the mound. This will only be his 5th appearance of the year, and he's only pitched 8 innings on the season, so he's a little used pitcher for Coach Ortego. First pitch misses up high, ball 1 to Sterling Sims, who has gone the distance for Sterlington. 1-0 popped up, out of play. I think Sims would not mind at all not having to go back out there for the 6th inning. He can do something about that right now, or at least get close. That's going to be popped up. White coming all the way up from left. Crappell from center, drops in the middle of him. At the last minute, Crappell called off the left fielder, who I can now see is actually Carter Dupuy, and the run scores.
So that'll make it 9-0. Runner in the winning run will stand on first base, and King will come in. I'm assuming that's King that's coming in to run for the pitcher, Sims. Sims having a pretty good day. He struck out swinging in the 1st inning and then singled in the 2nd.
And that is driven into the gap. Ferguson ranging over, makes the catch after a long run from center field. Quickly gets it back in so the runner cannot advance. Nice job by Ferguson there to get finally the first out of the inning. And that will bring
runner
to the
on
plate
first base with 1 out.
number 2, Easton Bruscato, the right fielder.
Bruscato comes in 2 for 3 on the day.
That gets by Rogers. It's ball 1, and the runner will take second base. That's King, the courtesy runner.
Who's also the 10th run of the game if he can get in.
He represents the winning run at second base. Tip of the hat to Coach Ortego. He is pushing every button and flipping every switch he can think of to try to keep the Panthers in this game. There's a drive up the middle, base hit. This could do it. Sterlington, no, he's going to hold him up. Mark Sims puts up the break sign and holds Sims up at third, or King up at third.
Bruscato
to first.
Yep, will pick up his 3rd hit of the game. And King will stand on 3rd, so runners on the corners with 1 out. That'll bring to the plate the shortstop, Miller Sheets. Sheets is 2 for 2 on the day. He had a couple singles, 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, and then he had a sacrifice fly in the 4th.
And with 1 out, even
Sacrifice
a decent fly ball to the outfield could win this game. And there you go,
That
straight
might be
away to
it.
center field. Ferguson goes over, makes the catch, and here we go. King on the way. They will let the throw come, not in time, and the game is over. Sterlington will win it on a 10-run rule. They eliminate the Berwick Panthers and advance to the state championship game this Friday afternoon. They're going to get an appeal over at third, but the umpire says no. And I think you do that in that case just because you can.
Yeah.
But there was no doubt about it. I was watching. He tagged up in plenty of time. And Sterlington gets a bit of a monkey off their back as they finally beat the Berwick Panthers, who have really been a thorn in their side for the last couple of years, including last year with a series loss in the quarterfinals at Sterlington. So the Panthers' long run, as we mentioned, this was their 10th postseason game of the year, finally comes to an end. Not the end we wanted to see, though.
But one I think no one expected to see, especially in the beginning of this season. So hats off to an outstanding job by the Berwick High Panthers baseball team and coaching staff. These guys lost virtually everybody off of that state championship team last year that were major contributors. One returning player that got a significant amount of playing time, and that was Cole Morris, but everybody else were first-time starters and very limited high school varsity experience in this. But they've gained a lot of that this year. A whole lot of these guys will be back next year, but man, I cannot tell you how proud I am of the Berwick Panther baseball team. They've done an outstanding job closing out this season.
Absolutely.
And they need to be super proud of themselves.
It's definitely worthy of repeating. This was not where we expected to be when this season began.
Right.
We did not think we'd be coming back to Sulphur to watch this Berwick Panther team, but here they are. They really just showed some amazing resiliency at the end of the year and really just put things together. And they just I'll say it again, they kind of remembered the legacy, I believe. It kind of got to the point was, you know, we're the defending state champions. We've been to Sulphur 2 years in a row. We may be inexperienced. We can't use inexperience as an excuse anymore because we played 20, 25 games. It's time to start playing up to the level that's expected at Berwick baseball, and they did so at the end.
A scrappy little team, not a team dominant talent. They didn't overpower anybody. Like we said earlier in this game, their 3 previous playoff rounds were 2 out of 3, and they had to play 3 games every single time. So even in the first round, they lost their first game.
But that's what you got to do at this point when you've got this experience level. It's the idea that any win's a good one.
Right.
You scratch and you claw and you get anything you can. Now you come back next season. You come back to next February, and now you're looking at a whole bunch of guys who have that seasoning behind them. They got the year experience, and you start to get the higher expectations, and they're going to have it of themselves too, especially because of the fact that they got here this year.
Right. Like I said, and I'm not sure how many of those guys are seniors, but I know a lot of them are going to be coming back. And at least you have a nucleus.
I'll give you the seniors. There were only 3 seniors: Zach Kinchin, Lane Rogers, and Rhett Ratcliffe.
So
we make sure that
an outfielder, a second
seniors on the
baseman,
catcher. That's what you lose. You lose your catcher. You lose a utility outfielder, and you lose a second baseman. Yep, you get all your
pitchers are coming back, and 5 out of the 8 position players are all coming back. So you've got a nucleus to work with, a more normal situation than what they had this year, where you had only really one guy who wasn't a starter, but he did play quite a bit in Cole Morris last year coming back, and no pitchers. All 3 of your primary pitchers from a year ago are all still playing ball somewhere. 2 in college and 1 in minor leagues.
The future is bright, to say the least. Let's give one more quick shout out to all of our sponsors: Mayor Duval Arthur and the Town Council for the Town of Berwick, GJCurbside.com, Intermore Offshore and Fabrication, Lafayette Electric, Core Physical Therapy and Sports Performance, AJ Dome and Automotive Family, Lapco Manufacturing, Stansbury and Associates, Tri-City Transmission, Oshner Health of St. Mary, Taco Bell, Cajun Coast Visitors and Convention Bureau, Patterson State Bank, Tiger Island Hardware, Halamar Shipyard, and Allen's Communications. Aaron, your final thoughts.
Chris, I just want you to know it has been a blast for me. I have enjoyed this high school baseball season, like the traveling part of it. I really look forward to and enjoyed every minute of it. I enjoy going to these different schools and campuses and ballparks and see the different ballparks around South Louisiana primarily. It has been a blast. I've had fun. I congratulate the Central Catholic Eagles from last night and the Berwick Panthers today. They've got nothing to be ashamed for. They're semifinalists. Outstanding job, young men and coaches. Great job.
It's always a treat when you can end the baseball season in Sulphur. It's a special treat when you can do it following 2 games, but it's disappointing when both of those trips end in the semifinals. But it's still a fantastic season. We've had a great time bringing it to you. So we'll close out here from Sulphur. For Aaron Ortego, I'm Chris Hunter. Thank you for joining us here on KWBJ Live. Have a great day.